Turn that on. Back. There we go. What's up, man? What's up, y'all? How you doing? How you doing? There we go. There. I don't know why it makes me hit. Like it gives me an option right there to hit. Like, wait a minute, I'll tell you. Live chat, top chat, super chat, none. So I can category it, I guess. It puts. I don't know what top chat is, but excuse me, it puts certain people at the top, I reckon. I don't know how it grades that. How are we doing tonight, guys? I can't see no comment. I mean, I guess this is working. Hey, if it's working, throw me a comment up there. Let me know it's working if you don't mind. Because, wait a minute. Yeah, I don't see any comments yet. Oh, Jessica, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I do. I see one right there. Thank you. Appreciate that. Where am I going? That's how you do it. Too much wax in there. Come on, light it up. It looked like I did a magic trick, didn't it? I guess this is working, right? Yeah, I see it there now. Hello, Bonnie. How you doing? How you doing? Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that. David, what's up, brother? Hey, man, I hope you're doing good. I know you've been having some issues, man. I've been praying for you there. What's up, Eddie? How you doing, buddy? You actually got notified. Well, that's great, man, because I've got a bunch of email stuff and then people commenting on the past videos saying, man, I didn't get notified. And some of these people go live right now, and I mean, it's been in the middle of the day, and guys, it's kind of hard to do. You can see my breath. That's how kind of chilly it is. Hold on a minute, guys. I'm going to fire my propane heater up here. Good. Y'all can see it's a little chilly in here. But what y'all can't see is this is a humongous area, and all y'all really see is this little corner, me in this little corner. And also, I got my phone upright instead of sideways because I can see the comments better. Like right now, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can see 8 comments at a time. That's awesome. And when I got it sideways, I can only see 2 or 3. Hey, thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that. I'm doing good. I can't complain at all. God has blessed me way too much, I think. Yeah, I just got out here and started chopping some wood. Well, y'all can see a little bit down there. I got some cedar. These cedar logs right here, y'all can see inside that. Well, let me see if I can get the light. There you go. Well, the shadow's not on it. You can see where it's a different color here, and then it gets into this. I'm not sure. This is kind of like liquid gold if you can get it hot enough, because boy, it ignites really good. But you gotta get it little thin pieces. If you put that whole log in there and that fire ain't hot, it's just like a little barely burn. It'll burn, but not hot like you want it to. So I just shave off little edges up there. Just like that right there. Just get a little thin piece like that right there. You wouldn't believe. Burns so much better, so much faster, so much hotter. I mean, it is a little bit of work, but if you want a hotter fire, that's kind of what you got to do. How you doing, Kim? How you doing? Dewey, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? What's that say? It's been a rough road. Hey, man, David. Yeah, God's got us all, and it's. I mean, I hate to say, but it's getting ready to be a rougher road for all of us, because what's going on, what's been going on, and what is still going on, and what's going to go on is it's way out of our reach, I think, at this point, and we're going to pay for it, and your kids are going to pay for it, and your grandkids are going to probably suffer bad for it. I promise you. I mean, it's kind of what we asked for, ain't it? Ain't nobody done anything to stop it. Nobody done anything to change it. Just roll right along with it. Don't worry about it. Another 4 years will change it, right? That's what they say, anyhow. Todd Bennett, what's up, buddy? Long time since I talked to you, man. I hope you're doing good. Yeah, I don't know, guys, what we allow and what's going on and what we put up with, and people just sitting back like it's just no big deal. Like, I don't know, man. It's hard for me to comprehend. I can't think. I can't get my mind wrapped around where it seems like society's mind is this day and time because, well, first, right off the bat, you can see nobody cares about their fellow man. Guys, I watched the daggone video earlier, and it's, I didn't share it because naturally I can't. If I share it, I'll get banned. That's why I can't do lives on Facebook no more. I'll come over here and do them. But I watched this video, and it's so many people. Like this video is like 2 hours long, right? And it's got like 5-minute or 5-second intervals in there of a clip of a video, and it's either a soccer player running, they just fall over football. I don't care what it is. They could be sitting at a desk, reporters. They could be doing what I'm doing right now, and they just fall over. And it's just all of a sudden, oops, this is their excuse, right? But we're supposed to believe that. That's my question. Why are y'all believing that? It's just sad to see this, and this is on one of the rare occasions it's so sad that I was right. I mean, God, man, look, a lot of you know, some of y'all know my personal life and this and that. And, I literally got up in the daggum floor like a preacher and preached a sermon on 3 or 4 different occasions against this. And, well, what I said didn't matter. And well, when you see videos and all this stuff of people, how do you know it ain't going to be one of your loved ones? You know, it's kind of concerning. I'll say that. It's concerning for sure because these people were out playing soccer or football or doing their job reporting or eating a meal at a restaurant or walking down the sidewalk or driving their car, driving their moped. And guys, I can keep going on and on and on because that's what I seen with my eyes. Guys, video don't lie, okay? I understand. Look, there's a lot of liars on this thing. There's a lot of people out there feeding y'all a bunch of BS. But when you're riding a moped and all of a sudden you fall off and you're, I don't know, running 30, 40 mile an hour and you face plant a phone pole, you tell me they did that for a video? Is that what you tell me? Or these people falling off balconies? Come on now. But sadly, there's a lot of people that would believe that. You know, that's what our news wants. That's what our news wants us to think. Oh, he slipped and fell. Oh, the tire blew out. They've always got another excuse besides the real one, and that's what aggravates me. Or you know, it's on my mind a lot. I'll say that. And guys, first and foremost, I'll say I'm not worried about nothing. I know God's got this. I think He gives us a choice of kind of what roads we want to take in life, and I think the road that this country's on is a very, very, I mean, if 4-wheel drive ain't even gonna pull us out of it. It's so bad, so bad. But at what point do we get stuck? Nobody knows, right? Everybody's just sitting back, kind of waiting on the one. You know, I've been all over this country past 5 years. And I get the same answer from all my buddies. It's that, oh, well, one day. I don't ever see no days. I don't ever see nothing other than us just, okay, here you go. You want some more? How much money do you want? You want some more? Oh, you want this? You want that piece of land too, right? I can't have my front. Oh, you want my backyard, but I can't have my front yard. Okay, I got you. Or I can have my front yard. You can have, I got you. You know, I seen a thing in Canterbury, and that's over in across the pond over there somewhere. I don't know exactly where it's at, but I seen this post where they're trying to daggone regulate what roads and stuff you can drive on, and they got them set up in zones, and they're going to do surveillance, and if you drive on this certain road, basically just control. Why is everybody failing to understand that this is all about control? All about control. You know, the whole, what is it? How long is this lie? And I'm not talking about the one, the government. I'm talking about the one the whole world's been facing. The one that was created over in Wuhan. We know what that was. So I'll just say it like that. Since that's been going on, I was absolutely forced, literally forced, to wear one of them little diapers on my face. And that's because, number one, I had to go and turn in my medical certificate for my CDLs. You know, you got to go to the DMV, and they wouldn't let me in the DMV without one. And but I've been totally against that. But what I'm getting at is that right there is about control, you know. And guys, y'all know I'm Christian, and I believe in Jesus, and that's the only religion I believe in. But I do, and I'm smart enough to understand that there's a whole lot more, hundreds of more religions all around the world. And one of them, and I'm not going to say it because I don't want to throw off on nobody. I think you can believe whatever you want. But part of one religion, I'll say it like this, part of one religion that's out there, the women have to cover their face all the time because that's control, it's dominance, it's slavery, and I mean, but that's what that is. That's why they want that on your face. That's why they put it on your kid's face. Some of y'all are still putting it on your kid's face. You realize that's when them kids are in school and you think it's helping them, all it's doing is really hurting because they're bringing in their own, they're breathing in their own, regurgitating the carbon dioxide and all that, just regurgitating. They're not getting fresh oxygen. So if you ain't getting fresh oxygen, how is your brain going to develop right? How are you going to learn anything? You're not. But a redneck hillbilly right here just sitting here, he's the one that figures it out. I understand it. But nobody else. The daggone people doing it don't understand it. And that's what blows my mind. I like to sit down and talk to some of these people on a serious note. But you know what? I look like I'm on Congress and I see them questioning all these people. They can never, ever answer a yes or no question. They can never answer a yes or no question. They've got to just jump on their side and ride that lie, even if it buries them. They don't care. They'll ride it. But they can't give you a straight yes or no answer. So if I did have a conversation with them, I would demand a yes or no answer. You know, or shut your mouth. If you can't give me yes or no, shut up. The conversation is kind of pointless at that. I think at that point. But that's what I see. We can't get no answers. But I think the biggest problem is there's no consequences for them. There's no consequences. You know how many people right now are on tape, on film, text, got all the evidence, everything, they're committing 100% felony treason against this country? And I promise you, they're happier than you are right now as far as where they're at and what's around them now. In my mind, they might be the most miserable person in the world. I think they really are, a few of them. But around them, their surroundings and what they got, they're living a life of luxury on your dime. On your dime. That's what I don't understand. You're paying these people to do this. You know, one of them up there takes all of our money. Because, you know, this country was founded on we the people. Not us, and this is mine. It's so, man, you know, I look at this internet stuff kind of like I did back when, you know, I was born in 79, so I grew up in the 80s and 90s and all that. That, to me, that's the only real life that I can remember because there wasn't these little distractions right here. We didn't have no distractions. We got out on our bicycles and swung on grapevines and run through, like, you know, I think God intended us to raise kids. You know, I gotta say, it's probably kind of a tougher way. The kids today could never do it. They wouldn't last. But I say that because I look at it as like, in those days, you know, I was a little kid, and if my neighbor got a brand new bicycle, I'd get pissed off. I'd get mad, you know, because I didn't have one, right? I look at this internet thing as the same kind of sense, same thing right there. Because if I do a live feed and I've got one more viewer than you can get, or if I make a post and I've got one more like than you can get, or one more tweet than you can get, or one more resubscribe that you can get, you get mad. See, that's where me and you and me and a lot of people are different. If one of my buddies do that, I'm happy for them, right? Because what that tells me is, well, first of all, the same message is going to get out the same way. And that's what this is about. This little box right here is not about me. This channel right here, it's got my name on it, yeah. But it's not about me, right? If I was doing this about me, I mean, I don't know, I'd probably have some kind of business or something, but that's not what this is about. But I see it like nobody wants to share. They're like, oh, I agree with what he says, but I'm too scared to actually put his face on my page. You know, look, share it on there. I can take the heat. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. You know, throw it out there. I think people need to hear it, to be honest with you. I got all kinds of people agreeing, and then at the end of the day, they're not telling nobody else. So it's kind of like it stops with you, right? That's where you got the power, right? So look, guys, share this stuff out, man. I tweeted on Twitter earlier. There's too many people afraid. Too many people scared. Guys, look, if you got Jesus on your side and you really know him and you got a communication, you know, with him, you won't be afraid. You will open your mouth. You know, anytime I see somebody, and there's no such thing in my mind as a silent Christian, because you can't be. When the Jesus that I know, when you know him, I promise, he's going to make you come alive. You're not going to help but to tell somebody, oh, look, you know what Jesus did for me today? You know how he helped me today? He answered this prayer for me last week. You know, nobody does that anymore. I can remember it a little bit when I was a kid. But as I've gotten older, man, it's almost like somebody mentions the word Jesus, it's in a chastising way. It's mocking him, just like the Bible tells us is going to happen, you know. And I'll say all that because I think a lot of people need to hear it. But I'll also say that it's not an easy road. It's probably one of the roughest roads you ever take. You know, it's a solid road of faith, right? I said the other night in my video, one of the biggest problems I think that society and that with Christians is that a lot of Christians pray, and for whatever they pray for, they don't have enough faith that God can do it. That's why it don't get done. They pray, think about it, you know, something they want, but if you ain't got enough faith to know, not think, you got to know He's going to do exactly what you prayed for. Now, look, it might not be on your time. That's one. Look, I'm a redhead through and through, right? That's one of my biggest problems. I don't have no patience for nothing. Nothing. If I have to pay $100 to get it one day sooner, most of the time I do. I'm dumb like that. But my patience, it won't let me. Something's wrong with my head, and I deal with that daily. But anyhow, this day and time, people are just. It's all about them. Don't, man. You know, I said this is like the third video I've done in a row. I guess almost this week. I'm kind of on a roll. But there's a lot of people asking, like, man, where you been? Why ain't you doing videos? You know, I just sat back and I was like, well, I just kind of absorbing everything, right? Anybody that's done these live videos for an extended period of time will tell you it's very easy to get burnt out, right? If you get yourself caught up in a bunch of drama, it's real easy to get burnt out. And I know exactly. I've been 100% on a lot of the drama side, especially on the Patriot side. I was involved in a little bit of the drama side when little Summer went missing. And, you know, I don't know. Once you sit back and take a break and then you look at the big picture, I promise you, there's certain drama that has to be addressed no matter what. But then there's other that you really don't have to fool with. A lot of people are wasting a lot of time on people and stuff that they shouldn't be. Right, there's a lot of that, and man, I know there, and I'm not going to say this person's name, but there's one of these people that's big time involved in the Summer Wells case. You know, look, I'm trying to say it the nicest way I can. First of all, I don't want anything to do with you, and I'm talking to this guy. He knows who he is. He's reaching out to you all that's commenting, saying, hey, get Jamie in contact with you. Tell Jamie, me and him to do a video together. Tell him and look, guys, I learned in life that if you hang around trash, you'll eventually you'll become trash. And it might not be right away, but eventually you'll become trash. That's just that's how life works. And this guy is trash. I don't care how many subscribers he's got. I don't care how many people are in there giving him super chats. All that tells me is they're just more evil people like this guy. But all I'm saying is that unless you got a real theory, a real something, I mean, no, I don't want anything to do with this guy. You know, I don't care how nice you think he is, he's trash. I don't want anything to do with it. Do I have a theory on what I think happened? I think that, first of all, I think the time frames are wrong. I think she somehow, no, I can't say that. I think that, okay, I'll say the time frames are wrong from what we were told. And, you know, I've thought about it a lot over these past couple of years. And y'all know I don't have any kids myself, but I've got animals. And y'all seen on here that I've had, you know, I've spent over $4,000 in the past 3 or 4 months, 5 months. I don't know when it started for my one little dog because she had to have surgery and all that stuff. But anyway, what I'm getting at is my dogs are my kids. And I sat and thought about it. If my little dog was to run out the door, I don't care if it was 5 years later. I'd still be looking every single day. It blows my mind how I don't know, man. I don't know. But see, look at it. I get thinking about it and I'll get sidetracked. But one thing I think is, you know, as close as I am to my little dog, I know where she's at right now. I know where she's at. If she's going somewhere, I'd know which way she was going, right? That's my little dog. I have raised that little dog from a puppy. From a time it was off the tip, basically, from its mama. I've raised that little dog. I know everything that it does. So when you take a little child, a different force of intelligence because they got a human brain. So what I'm saying is that they can absorb so much more. I think you'd have more of a connection. Guys, the mom was there, right? She was the last one that seen her and told her to go downstairs and play, right? She knows what happened to her. She knows. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just saying in me, if my dog got loose, I would know. There's no way if I call, and I know the law don't do missing a person over a dog, but if they did, hello Stacy, how you doing? If they did, I would know. I would have a better idea than the 50,000 that I've heard. And you know, the crazy thing is these people probably doing a video tonight titling it Summer Wells episode 6,497, because they probably really done that many. I don't know what else you can say. I mean, I haven't been to the videos, so I don't know what's going on, but I mean, after the first 15, they lost me. These people did. I'm like, I don't understand. Where's this new evidence? But my theory is that I don't know what. I can't physically say what happened because there's all kinds of evil in this world. Like we're surrounded right now all by demons and angels. Luckily, we've got angels fighting them off for us. But I think some people have more angels fighting for them than others, and then that's how the demons are able to get in and make people do such vicious things. I think that's kind of how that works in that theory. That little triggered. How you doing, sister? Hope you're doing good. But I think honestly that look, she'd have to know. How could you? I don't know how you could go on camera and say you didn't know. I would feel like the most horrible. Well, no, if I did that, y'all would see me proving you wrong. But you know what? I'm gonna find my dog. If it takes me 20 years and my feet, I have to walk till they fall off. I'm gonna find my dog. And then on this situation here, it's just like I just don't see a whole lot of concern, to be honest with you. I just don't see a lot of concern. I don't. I don't know. I don't really know what's going on with the whole thing. I haven't talked to, I got a lot of flack back in the beginning of this. First of all, but it was because of me and Don were friends on Facebook. Whoa, watch out. We're friends again on Facebook. We're friends again. Watch out. Right? But since he's got out of jail, whatever, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. That's all I can say is I don't know. He did send me a message, I will say that, but guys on Messenger, I can't respond. So I seen he'd made a video today or something at the beach or something on, I don't know, looked like at a pier or something. Anyway, I commented and let him know that I'd seen his message, and all my other ways of communicating like we did before are all still the same. I don't know if he that's all I can say. I can't communicate back on Messenger. I got it actually posted on my page, and I get a lot of people don't take time to go and scroll through people's pages. But if I was to send somebody a message and they didn't message me back, and I'd seen they read my message, I'd probably be like, what in the world's going on? Why are they just ignoring me? Because that's kind of how I'm going to take it, right? When I scroll down their page, if I seen an actual post saying, hey guys, my Messenger don't work, Facebook don't like me, they keep me banned, I'm not allowed to use it like everybody else. Well, it's for one, because I tell the truth, and I've been standing for truth and freedom where a lot of y'all been sitting on the couch. I'm just going to tell it like it is. And that's why. That's why I don't get that privilege, But maybe, like I said, I put that comment the other day, maybe he'll go through other ways. And I'll say this too. Something's up with my actual phone, like my voicemail password, something happened to it. When I dial it in, it says I got the incorrect one, and I don't. So I've got to call and get that switched over, but I've not been able to check my voicemail in a couple weeks, and I know I've got several numbers. If I don't have your actual name in my phone, and you don't, or unless you text me and say, hey, this is me, and I'm gonna be calling you in a minute, whatever, I don't answer unknown calls. I'm not gonna waste the 3 seconds of my life for that. If it's important, if it's really important, the best thing you do is text. I always text back, always, no matter what. I always text back. I don't always answer phone calls. I'll just say I can't. But I always text back. So he's also got my number as well. And I know you got these little groups and this and that, and I watch these groups, but I don't participate. I don't comment. I'm not in there dogging nobody, this and that. My main concern is I still want to find this little girl. I'd love to know where she's at, and I'd love to get her. I'd love to get her found. I'm just gonna say that. Get her found and know she's safe and having a good life. That's what I'd like. Because I don't know. I think majority of people have gotten too sidetracked into drama to to realize that what they're doing and what they're posting and what they're saying and the conversations that they're having is doing nothing to help try to find this little girl. All it's doing is their emotions got involved, right? Anytime a little kid's involved, your emotions will automatically be attached, right? If I had some little kid right here that's all mangled up and his face cut up, and I told you a daggum coyote to eat him up out there, yeah, they would be 250,000 people because emotions get to it. The difference is with this little missing girl, Summer, a lot of people let their personal emotions get involved, and it's done nothing but go down the wrong road, right? Hey, I did it myself, right? I went on a couple of wild goose chases trying to help people and this and that. None of it worked out. None of it panned out, you know. And I was totally against a lot of it, and said, look, I don't want a part of it, but if you think it'll find this little girl, I'm down. And I did it anyway, right? But I don't know, guys. It's just hard for me to understand why there's not more. I know that there's been a lot of internet, so internet stuff. But guys, I live close. There ain't nothing been said in the neighborhood in a long time. And I know there's a handful of locals around here that's been going posts and stuff trying to keep it up. But look, I'll say it like this: unless you've got a big group of people, I don't care what you do. You ain't gonna get no traction. And that's what it's all about. And the daggone, when the parents get involved in the drama instead of focusing, in my mind, I'm about, look, you know what? You can go over and talk about this. You can say this about me. I don't care. I want my daughter found. And I wouldn't participate in none of that until my daughter was found. Or in my case, my dog was found. Right? I wouldn't participate in it. But I've seen that easily you get distracted and yanked right into that, so that kind of makes me think, what's more important here? So, I don't know. I know I went down a big road there, but that's kind of my whole thought process on the whole thing is somebody knows. Somebody knows exactly what happened to her, because a little 5-year-old, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old child does not just run away like that. If they do, with as many agencies and planes and helicopters and everything that's been down there, they would have found her, I think. They had the LiDAR plane. That LiDAR plane flew over for like a week every night, 7, 8 hours a night. I could see it. I can see the plane from my house. Actually, if you go back on some videos, you'll see me standing out here in the road, and I'll say, look, guys, I can see that plane. And I've also got an app to show me the circles and stuff that it was making. So they were, And look, I'm not saying that will find everything. It won't. But I'm just saying, that there's way too much drama in this little case, along with many other cases that have, spiraled out of control. Triggered has been a part of a lot of major cases in that, and they've always been drama in there. Not that she's been involved, but there's always drama somewhere with little missing kids because people's emotions get attached to it. I get it. Yeah, y'all are gonna see a new me because my emotions are not gonna get attached unless it's important. They're not gonna get attached. I just push it right on. That fire's awful hot. Guys, I know there's been a lot of comments. I apologize, but y'all know how my mind is. If I get talking like that and then I read a comment, I'll get sidetracked at the blink of an eye. So I kind of have to ignore them for a minute. That's kind of my theory. How could you say, y'all, if y'all have, all of y'all, if you have kids or pets or whatever, if they went missing, you would know pretty much where they'd be, right? And look, I can't say that for every parent because I realize stuff happens. Dangerous, evil stuff happens in this world. I get it. And like I said, I have been to their house. I've been inside their house. I sit and talk with them for a while and this and that. And man, I don't know. I just say it like this: somebody down there, somebody knows. Somebody knows more than what they're saying, and it's really sad. It's really sad. But that kind of goes along back with what I was talking about a few minutes ago, as far as all this internet stuff. It's all about yourself. Now, how you can put yourself in front of a little 5-year-old human being that you actually created is beyond me. Like I didn't create that dog in there, but that dog is literally my kid. I love that dog like my kid. It gets treated better, or just as it would if I had a kid. Like a lot of people, a few of you know how I am with mine. I love animals, and God tells us to be good to them and treat them good, so I do. And I may treat mine a little too good, to be honest. I spoil them way too much, but they don't bark. Like if you used to come in the house, they're not going to bark at you. You know, they mind. They know what to do, right? And I get it's just a little dog. You know, they're literally. I got two of them. They're like my little queens. And one of them, y'all have heard me talk before. She got a real big tumor on her, and she's really old, and they can't do surgery. And it's basically right now in the hands of the tumor. How much bigger is it going to be before it takes her away? So y'all help me keep that or pray about that. That God will help. I don't want the little thing to be in no pain or nothing like that. And if that happens, then I can't let her live like that. So it's gonna be a hard day. And I know it's coming. I can see it, but until it's here, it's not. It's gonna be real rough, man. I've had this little dog, golly, 11, 12 years now, I think. And yeah, she's a good little dog, guys. She really is. Somebody asked where I've been. Where have I been? I've been educating myself. I've been, I guess you could say I was kind of burnt out a little bit. And the main thing is I was just educating. I was sitting back absorbing. And, I read the Bible. I've read the Bible a whole lot. And, it's weird how, for me, now maybe it's not like it's for you, but I can read the same scripture on a different day and get two separate meanings or get two separate thoughts, right? And in my mind, when that happens, that's God doing that, because us as humans, we're going to think whatever the words say, that most likely be what we stick with, right? That's just how we're wired. But when you read it, you get a total, complete different message out of what you thought it was, and it kind of opens your eyes a little brighter to the broader spectrum of things. Then boom, yeah, that's kind of where I've been. I've learned some stuff that I probably shouldn't have learned. I went down rabbit holes. I didn't jump right out of it. I kept going, head first, because I wanted to see. I'm one of those, I got my beard right down next to the fire and singed my face before I yanked me out. But I seen some messed up stuff. But, guys, anything that I have been learning is going to be to help you all, right? I'm not going to come on here and tell you all anything that would hurt you or harm you or discomfort your life in any way. Now, look, me telling the truth and being blunt, your emotions are liable to get all wrapped up in that real easy. Because a lot of people do. A lot of people can't handle the bluntness. Because don't ask me a question if you're not ready for, the answer. Because I don't sugarcoat it. I think life's too short to sugarcoat it. Why waste 15 seconds of your life telling it one way when I'm just going to eventually spit it out the way I want to regardless? Why waste your 15 seconds? It's the bluntness, right? It's just where I just drop it all in your lap, right? That's the way I want it. Life is so short, guys. We're in this vessel, at best, 70 to 100 years, right? And then right now what you're doing and what you don't realize you're doing, I know a lot of people are doing their normal Monday through Friday jobs, and they may be physically building, with wooden materials, their house down here, building their mansion down here. Well, I got news for you. I'm building my mansion in heaven. Actually, God is building it for me, But the work you do down here is going to be dependent on how big it is. Some of y'all ain't going to have a t-shirt and a tent, a stick. You ain't going to have nothing because you ain't going to make it. But that's where I've been. That's what I've been doing, It just, like I said, it just kind of gets burned. We get burned out, and then, they've been, my little dog's been, the one that's got the tumor is kind of, it's been there. And then the other one, she had a whole crazy bunch of issues where she had to have emergency surgery, 2 blood transfusions, and ended up getting spayed. And she had to have all kinds of things. Now she's still on chemo and some kind of prednisone or something. I don't know, guys. It's been nothing but trying to take care of that dog, because look, she about died. Like, she really did. Like, it, guys, I got so mad that when I was at vet over there, I had run the debit card or my bank card for $1,200. That's what they said to, pay $1,200, swipe. Then they went back and done it, and then they wanted $500 more. Swipe. Card said, look, your $1,200 is a limit on this card. You have to wait till tomorrow. They was going to send me out the door with my dog having a catheter in, IVs, needing a blood transfusion, if I didn't have another $500. And I was like, my gosh, look, it's not that the money's not there. It's that the bank won't give it to me right now. That's not my fault. My dog's not. It's not my problem. Closest I've ever been as a man, just spitting in a woman's face, because I almost did. It made me so mad. Me holding my little dog, knowing that if I walk out that door with it, it's gonna die. And she knew that. That was what burnt me up so bad. Money was more important, right? Sadly, that's about the only few emergency vets we got to deal with around here. So, I think it was, let's see, it was at $1,200, then $500, then another $700, and another $300, whatever that is, $2,some $100, whatever it was. But I went and made that gum sure that they're paid up final and full, because if something happens like that again and you don't have that bill paid, your dog will die right there in your car. It's crazy. We're living in the most craziest world. People put money first. I'd love to find a veterinarian, an emergency one around here, the state open, that actually cared about your animals. Now look, I got to say this. We was there on several different occasions, right? Because this happened on different nights, right? One night we were there and it was like a team of angels. I mean, that was actually the first time. The first blood transfusion, it was like a team of angels that worked there. The second night, or the second or third, I think it was the next week, but the second blood transfusion, oh my gosh. It was literally the devil's wife I thought to us dealing with. And I'm not going to say her, I know her name, but I'm not going to say her name on here. She knows who she is. My bill's paid up, but you know what? I just don't know how you could be that evil to somebody. Them knowing that your dog's going to die and you hanging a $500 bill over their head. That'd be hard for me to do, but you know what? These people lay down and sleep, and she lay down and slept perfect that night. Didn't bother her a bit. I pray for people like that, you know, because hell's going to be hot, right? It's going to be hot. Live it up down here, baby. Live it up, because once you're done, that's what you're going to be looking at, and it's not going to be worth it. But I had all that stuff going on, and then along with that, another family member started having all kinds of allergy problems and everything that she was eating, swelling her throat shut. Had to call the rescue squad. I think 3, maybe even 4 times the rescue squad's been to my house in the past, I don't know, let's say 2 months, 3 months, something like that. So that, and then, you know, guys, right? I don't know. I can't really pinpoint like a certain thing but there's been, I guess it's just been a lot of distractions, to be honest with you. A lot of distractions, and that's honestly, a lot of it's my fault. But in the process, I learned a whole lot, and you know, I'll say it like this: one thing I did learn, the biggest thing, and the biggest takeaway from all, is that I learned how to turn this off. I learned that I don't have to constantly have it in my face. I learned that, you know. I've been trying. Hello, how you doing, little chickadee? I've been trying to when I'm thinking, oh, let's see what's going on Facebook. No, Jamie, read the Bible. And then look, that's what I've been trying to do. And look, they don't, not every time. They've been a lot of times I just go right on Facebook. Y'all see it, going to comment. You know, look, I'm not saying Facebook's, you know, I think it can be good. It can be a good tool. Now, naturally, I can't use it the way I want to because they don't like me over there. But right now, I just use it as like a billboard for this. So when you know what's going on this, I'll share it over there. But that's kind of where I've been. That's kind of what I've been doing, and you know, as long as I'm a breathing and this and that. I said, I made a post, even if you go to the community, y'all, if you keep up with the community side on this, I post a lot of stuff over there, but I said 2023 is going to be different, right? Well, it is, and I'm going to do a whole lot more videos, at least like this, a couple a week. But the other difference is there's going to be no drama, right? I mean, if it's a legitimate issue, you know, we'll handle it. But if it's something that, you know, your emotional feelings that got all wrapped up in, then, I mean, you know what? You can just take that over there to the lefties and y'all can just have your party, because I'm not doing it, guys. I'm going to refuse to participate in anything that's not going to benefit, not going to, you know, we're all supposed to be together and bring each other up, right? I'm not going to be around anybody or anything that's going to go on that downward slope, because right there behind me is what's on that downward slope. It's hell, and it's not a good thing. So, yeah, I mean, I gotta say, if they have any, that's like I was saying on the video a couple of nights ago, or 2 nights ago, whatever it was, if you haven't been seeing my posts, this and that, good thing you might do is go down and hit like on a few videos, because that puts me up on the list on your algorithm page, on yours. It's like, because they're going to distract you, and they look at me, and everybody that hits this like button, they look at us as a distraction. We're their tool, right? I'm doing what they want me to do, but I'm not saying what they want me to say. Let's say it like that. But they want me to distract you. So if you go through there and you hit like or share or whatever, comment, then it'll pull me back up to the top. Probably where I wasn't live or nothing, and I had not really a lot of activity that's probably another reason why too, is because they probably thought, well, this page ain't doing nothing. What good does it do to keep bringing it up when he's not doing anything for us? Guys, I understand how this works. So the more videos that I keep doing, the more to keep telling you. I think that's the way to be. So I guess it's a little bit my fault. I apologize for my part of it, but as far as the, me learning the information, and like I said, the biggest takeaway is being able to set this little box down and actually focus on life. Because look, myself, I will get wrapped up in this little thing and forget about everything that's going on in the world around me. Like I said, I watched that video earlier of all them people just falling over, and it's not like there was no warning, there was no build up to, okay, maybe you need to get some help. No, these people are, like I said, some of them, well, as we've witnessed with our eyes on live TV, professional athletes get paid millions of dollars. The best doctors, the best physical therapists, the best training that the world has, these people have. Like, I don't think y'all understand what happens when these football players get done with the game, but they go back and literally get their muscles transformed enough so they can go play another game if they wanted to. I don't think they've got the equipment to put you in and set you in and inject you in and wrap you up in to make you just as good as you was before you went out the first time, and you won't be tired again. They've got that stuff. So that's what I'm getting at. That guy was in amazing, like, there ain't no way in the world that guy take off running from me. I can't catch him. Not with my feet, I can't catch him. Let's just say it like that. I can't catch him with my feet. And I ain't talking about a car either. You can put your own other explanation in there, but I'm glad that guy's doing no good. But I'm just saying he can outrun me like he's lightning fast, right? He just stand there and fell backwards. Boom. It's sad, man. It's sad. And it's, like I said, I've been praying for a whole lot of people. I know a big handful of people that was forced and had to. I get it. But that ain't going, you can't help me from worrying or not worrying, but being concerned, right? I don't care of the reason of why that part's done and over with. Let's look at the issue. Now I'm concerned because I don't want nothing to happen to you. I care. There's a few people that's gotten aggravated at me because I brought it up. But if I don't bring it up, that means I don't care. And I think that's one of the biggest problems. This whole society is learning not to open your mouth. Just don't say anything. It'll be all right. And when that happens, nothing gets done. The conversation never gets resolved. If you just keep your mouth shut, spit it out. I don't know. I just wish people would be more outspoken and tell the truth. I honestly think around, all the media and all that, they need to be dumped. And a whole new crew's coming in, people that can tell the truth. Yep. If you're on Twitter, go over. I shared it on my Facebook, and I'll even share it on here. But go over to Twitter, man. I'm getting all kinds of dang lefties. So them lefties are evil over there. They're crazy. And I seen poor old Dolly Parton was on there. Said if I didn't participate, I'm gonna say it like this because I don't want to get in trouble. But if I didn't participate in that I was a coward. If I didn't participate, I was a coward. So I sent her a tweet. And I was like, I'm a hillbilly right here in these Appalachian Mountains, and I play a little music myself. And I've always loved you, but I got a question. After what we've seen and all these deaths, do you feel a little bit responsible? Am I a coward now? Am I still a coward? I said it in that sense. I worded it different, but I don't know, guys. When that money gets involved, you wouldn't be surprised. Well, you probably won't be surprised that who will flip for money. No, I'm not one of them. I don't care about money. Money's no big deal. See what this said? See, I know the Pope was even pushing it, saying it, and I'm like, wow. I mean, look, I don't think he's not going to get no. In God's eyes, we're just the same, but I think in the world's eyes, he's on a higher level because, well, when he writes his name down or they say his name, it's got the word Pope in it. Come on, it don't take a rocket scientist to think that he would be a little bit more leaning for, shoulder to shoulder with God on God's side, but he not. That money made him say something different, but he's no longer here. He told you to do it, and he did it and died. Now what? Now what? You know how many other? There's a bunch of other ones that did that. Done videos saying, "Oh yeah, I just did this today," and then they're gone. It's about this. It's about control. When you know the big picture, when you've done your homework and you look into the big picture and you see all that, you understand it. I understand it. I know. I don't know the full intensity of it, but I've got an idea of the evil. And then, man, it's what you're thinking in your mind times that by 10. What I'm thinking in my mind times that by 10. I've been told that by several people that have seen other stuff with their very eyes, and these people I trust with my life, and they say, Jamie, you need to, really think this way about it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I open my eyes, and he's like, no, it's 10 times worse than that. Guys, they only show us what they want us to see. And you need to, I'll say it again. They only show us what they want us to see. And they got an objective behind why they're showing it. So, if we're seeing all the bad stuff that they are showing us, imagine the most evil stuff that they're not. So that's what I'm saying. And it's going on right now, somewhere right now. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Anybody got any prayer requests? Y'all know I always do that. Big ol' mama, how you doing? Hey, I thank you so much. You helped my little Zoe by getting that little floaty, that little blow up floaty thing there, because boy. And I'll be honest with you, she didn't even have to wear it like a day. She's kind of a little bit overweight. And that's because I spoil her that bad, man. You know, and me and my girlfriend do. And it's she's a little fat. But what I was getting at is she wasn't able to even bend her head around there to get all the way down to be able to pull the stitches out, or she just didn't really mess with it. But it helped her a lot. I appreciate you giving me that idea. And if y'all know what I'm talking about. When a dog gets spayed or neutered, they have their ears cropped or whatever, they put them big cones, them big plastic cones on their heads, you know. Well, that scared my dog to death when they first did it. And Big ol' Mama there sent me a thing on Amazon. It looks like a little kiddie float. And it said it looked like, I think what I got looked like a watermelon. And it's a little blow-up thing that you just put around their neck. And they can move their head more. They can lay on it. It's comfortable. If you got a dog and you got any kind of surgeries like that, get them one of them, I promise. 10 times more comfortable. But that was awesome. Oh yeah, you got some beautiful dogs, and like if I had, I'll be honest, if I had the money, I'd do the same thing. But golly, my little two are so expensive. Like I thought, well, way back years ago, spent $3,000 or $4,000 on the one that's got the big tumor because she's had several already removed, and they said that come from her eating milk bones and the calcium in the milk bones. But the thing is, after the first surgery, she's never had another milk bone. She's eating chicken and rice. Literally, that's all the dog eats. So I don't know how they can say that. Maybe I don't know where they're saying they come from now. I think just the little dog's got cancer somehow and they can't get rid of it. That's the bottom line on that little dog. But she's still, she's still happy. She's not in no pain or anything right now. But it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. I thank God every day I got her, because it's going to be a really, really hard day to let that little dog go. And there's 25 people on here. If anybody's local and close to me knows where I can get some laying hens and some roosters, I'm dead serious. I know I mentioned that in the video the other night, but I'm dead serious. I'm getting me 5 or 6 hens and a rooster. I am. I'm going to have my own eggs. I'm going to slowly but surely get away from all this lie that's been going on that everybody's participating in the past 2 years. I'm not going to participate in it. I refuse. I promise you guys, 10 years from now, when we look back on this, they're going to say the biggest scandal in American history. The biggest fraud in American history. Only thing I'm embarrassed because my daggone face, and along with all of us, are going to be plastered right beside it because we allowed it to happen. That's the only thing I don't like. I understand there's a handful of us and we're all on the same page, and I'm speaking to the ones that ain't, the ones that don't know me, the ones that have any idea really what's going on. Get on board. I don't care. You might not like me. You might think I'm the most ugliest, vilest thing you ever seen, but I do tell the truth. So get on board. This evil, it will affect you. What's going on will affect you. It's going to affect you. If you can't see now, look, have you seen the shelves, guys? You go to stores, there ain't no milk, there ain't no ham, there ain't no cheese. I mean, I'm telling y'all need to get stocked up. Y'all need to get stocked up. I'm checking these comments here. What's up, Chris? What's up, brother? Man, it burns me up, man. I hope you're doing good out there, man. I hope you're staying warm. I ordered me another heater last night. I got me one of them greenhouse electric heaters coming. I'm gonna put it in here because I got electricity in here. That way I won't have to run that big convection propane heater as much. I probably spent, let's see, the past 3 weeks I've spent over $800 on phones. On guys. I looked at, see how my brain works on heaters. I looked at my phone and that's why I said on phones. I gotta plug this thing in. Y'all give me just a second here. Oh goodness, come on, don't you turn that off. Get in there. There we go. I don't know what that's done. It's 75%. It said something about a battery. This thing's connected to so many little devices. There's a battery low somewhere. I probably got to change, I reckon. When I was going, they was dazed and confused, or I'm sorry, I don't know the page. I think it's dazed and confused. Maybe somebody here knows. They actually said they took a couple of my videos and done a video and was trying to help spread the good word and the truth and all that. And I appreciate them. I appreciate them they's like, man, I didn't get no notifications. If it hadn't been for them sharing, I wouldn't even know. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, I love deer meat, man. I love deer meat. Deer season closed today here. I ain't killed no deer this year. I didn't have a lot of time. I only hunted 2 days the whole year. That's sad, man. But I had so much other stuff going on. I just couldn't get away. Couldn't get time. Sad. But if the going gets enough and this and that, I've got them all around me right here. It come down to life and death. But season-wise and the legal way and this and that, the way we're living right now, I ain't killed one yet this year. Let's hope that crap hitting the fan day don't ever come, but I think we're getting closer and closer every day because you see what's going on in the world. I think Brazil's absolutely going nuts. Like, I'm pretty sure they went inside the presidential palace and everything in Brazil, the people did. It looked like the streets and stuff on the videos that I seen, and this is people, but it looked like you just took them and crammed them in the streets. There was no more room for nobody. Like, the whole daggum country of Brazil's in the streets. That's what needs to happen here. And you can say, I'm doing this, I'm enticing this, and no, I'm not. I'm speaking the truth. And if you're not for what I said, then you're on the enemy side, and you can kick rocks, because that's what needs to happen. There's no way. Now, what we know what's going on right now and everything. It's been a lie, right? We've been living a lie, a rigged lie for the past 2 years, whatever it is. Yeah, Brazil's falling crazy. Yeah, I've seen some videos, man, blow my mind. I was like, wow, man, they are like really. I'm glad to see it. I hate them people who are going through it, but I'm glad they're woke enough to understand it. And guys, here's another thing. It's not just Brazil. China's doing it too. It's almost like the whole world's getting woke up for some reason. And I read different chapters in the Bible, and it tells me that in the end times, people's eyes will be opened up to more things. Basically saying that if this stuff was going on in the 80s and 90s or whatever, you probably wouldn't be smart enough to understand what was going on. Now, everybody's getting woke to everything. All this evil. The Bible tells us that that's what's going to happen. I don't know why people don't grasp that. And if you don't put the Bible with everything that's going on today, then first of all, you're probably walking down the wrong road. But if you put it with it, you'll see everything's lining up perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I heard a noise over there. I don't know what that was, but it might be my cat. I don't know if he's in the house or he's out here. Anybody got any prayer requests? Anybody know somebody that's lost? Anybody know somebody that's going down that wrong road that if they was to die right now, they'd split hell wide open? If you just go and sit somewhere and you really think about everything, every breath that you take is a gift from God. God lets you take one more breath for everyone you take. And we should honestly, and I know it sounds crazy, but we should honestly be thanking Him for every daggone one, every breath. Thank you, Lord. Everything, but we don't. I go through days where I'll be distracted by so much. I don't even thank Him for being awake till 2 or 3 o'clock. That happens. So if that right there can happen to me, and me honestly trying to stay in the Word and close, I can imagine what it's doing to people that don't care, that don't want it. And you see it right here. That's all you see. Me, people, me. It's hard for me to understand, and I'll say this: any of these bigger YouTubers, and I'm talking about the ones that's got like millions of fans and this and that. Let me ask you this: I understand. And look, when I was a kid, I'd always wanted, maybe a Lamborghini or something. I don't know. My personal opinion, that's way too much money for a car. Like I can get a crotch rocket, I get a $600R and get just as much speed and out of it as I could one M, and I pay 10 grand for that. But you got these $1 million cars. You I don't know. It's mind blowing to me how these people can come on here and they whatever they're doing. I don't care if they've made a business, if they're just telling jokes, whatever it is. Something got them to the point where they literally got millions of dollars, and they go in this house out on the wall, 2 blocks away from them. There's homeless people sleeping on the street, but they got three cars out there in their garage. Each one's worth over $1 million. To me, how do you sleep? A lot of people probably watch this and say, perfectly, you little hillbilly. Perfect. That's fine. That's fine. I'd be happy with that answer if somebody give it. I'd be happy with that answer. It's just mind blowing to me how these people can have all this money and literally, and look, maybe they ain't, I'm not anybody. I kind of called out YouTubers a few minutes ago, but now I'm talking about anybody. Living in these big mansions and that, literally, and all the while 2 blocks away, there's somebody sleeping under a cardboard box, starving to death. While you could have spent, you could give him half that steak you throwed away. I'm just saying, man, people don't look out for their fellow man like they're supposed to. It's all about me, me, me. And all you got to do is open your eyes and look around. You'll see it everywhere. Everywhere. Now, look, I'm not saying take away from you. Now, if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of nobody. I'm a strong believer in that. But you can't get to the point to where you're taking care of yourself and you're like, oh, let's just get a little more. Nobody know. Oh, let's get a little more. Nobody know. That's what happens. That's what happens. That's how people get in these little predicaments. And then before long, it's spiraled out of control. But that little voice in your head are telling you, oh, just take a little more. That's the devil. That's the devil right there. And I'll tell you this, when the devil did that, God gave you a way out. You just didn't choose it, right? Any situation that you're going through, anything, God will give you a way out. He'll put that road right in front of you. A lot of you are looking down the other one saying, you know what, I just put new tires on this thing. That hill looks big. I'm just going to gas on it anyway. And then when you get to the top, you realize, oh, these tires wasn't that strong at all. And you start flipping and rolling down backwards, and you get to the bottom and you crushed all the pieces. Then you'll jump on the Jesus road. I've done that. I've done that myself. Many. I mean, I'm embarrassed to say, but I've done it several times, And, the Bible tells us that God only knocked so many times, right? I mean, he could be knocking at you right now. I don't know. I'm just glad that he was there and had his hand out when I had mine. When I find, what I'm saying? When he was calling, I win. And I know a lot of y'all are not. A lot of y'all are saying you are, but you're really not. You're only known by the fruits that you produce, and that's by basically, fruits is your actions. So how do we know what action is? But action is what we see, what we can physically see with our eyes. So, yeah, we're only known by what we do. Now, I get these, you're not supposed to, I don't really think you're supposed to pray. I like to pray on here because of prayer requests, but I don't think you're supposed to pray and boast, and that there's a lot of people who do that, right? I'm not a good, I'm not a good prayer. I stutter and this and that, but there's a lot of people who can just roll it right off and this and that, and I'm sincerely talking to God, and I don't want to mess up. That's why I stutter. It's not a script for me. It's real. And there's a lot of people that's not. I just hope that if you're praying, you're sincere. And listen, here's the main thing. When you say a prayer to God, you better have enough faith to know he's going to get it done. Not think you'll get it done, not he might do, to know. Because if you don't, listen, the God I serve, there is no, that's how it is. It's all or nothing. There is no, I wish you'd get to know him. If you don't, that's all I'm going to say. I'm trying to read. Hold on, that comment went away. Oh, I appreciate that. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, oh man, yeah, they was. Yeah, in the beginning of that little girl going missing, it was kind of good, and then all of a sudden it was like people flipped on me, man. I had people that almost, I'll say it like that, almost pretty much showing up to my house, driving by my house, because they literally thought I had that little girl here at my house. Like, that's part of the emotions that I was talking about a few minutes ago. The emotions. That's what I was talking about. People got so wrapped up that they literally grabbed their keys, grabbed whatever, jumped in their car, and drove all the way to my house, right? That's emotion. And, I know firsthand how bad the emotions can get and how easy people can get wrapped up in them. I seen it with my own eyes. I was on the phone with Trigger when she was on there. I was on the phone with her. I was like, oh my gosh, she heard it. And not only that, it's on camera too. So, all right, Trigger, you have a good night. You have a good night. We'll do. Saying prayers for you. I hope you have a good night. Y'all, tell Trigger there good night. But yeah, who else got any prayer requests, guys? I appreciate all y'all jumping in here, man. I didn't realize it, and maybe I was being a little selfish, I guess, as far as not coming on here and talking and this and that. And, I've had several people message and man, I appreciate it. And look, if I can come on here and look, this is not necessarily me. God is using me, right? So a lot of times, if you hear me say it, I might not even say it the same way tomorrow night, right? It's like sometimes I get in like a zone there, and then I always go back on like this video right now, an hour exactly. When we're done, I go straight and I watch this video minute or second for second all over again, and then I'll go through and I'll try to read the comments. That's kind of an issue for me for some reason with YouTube. It's like I have a hard time finding the comments once it's in a video. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I always try to go back and read and make sure I didn't say something to steer somebody down that wrong road. So I promise you, as soon as this is over, however long it is, if it's an hour and 2, hour and 50 minutes, hour and 30, however long it is, I am distracted by sitting right there watching, making sure I said, I'll be listening to this exact thing I'm saying right now all over again. I do it every time. I don't want to tell nobody or push somebody down the wrong road. So, and that's why I watch it again to make sure, because sometimes I get sidetracked, I was watching it the other night, and I did get sidetracked. I lost total train of thought. Somebody actually had to remind me in the chat, and I'm watching it again. I'm like, stupid, what's wrong with you? Say it. It's this, man. What's wrong with you? And I'm on that yeah. Anyway, that's what I do. All right, Trigger, you have a good night, sister. I hope you have a good night. Who else got any prayer requests? I'm trying to read. You don't think? Well, I don't really know. Helen, I don't really know. I would like to say that I don't know. I can't say they don't have anything to do, because I think they have to know where she's at. I mean, they might not have done it, but they know what happened. I can say it like that. They know what happened. And guys, we live in such evil times. Like I said a few minutes ago, man, money's key. Money's the key of everything. So I don't know. I would love and give anything to see that little girl happy somewhere and have a good life and go to school and graduate and be whatever she wants and have a wonderful family. I'd love to see that. I really would. But I don't know that. They've been missing kids found 5 and 6, 7 years after they've been gone. It happens, but it's not. It don't happen all the time. It's very rare that happens. So. I don't know. I think with, if I sit back and think about some videos I've seen and some stuff that they've said, some people said and this and that, I don't know. You'd have to know. You at least have a better excuse. And I mean that the excuse we got is what we got, but I think you'd had a better one, because it didn't pan out. Like if she just run out and went down through the woods somewhere, she'd have been found. So, yep. Okay, David. Yeah, I know. Yeah, say a prayer for David right there, guys. He's had a rough go in the hospital. He's been in the hospital, all kinds of stuff. Y'all can see my breath. Yeah, it's how chilly is it? Yeah, it could have something to do with this fire, too. Yeah, it's 44 degrees. And I got this propane heater. It's just barely running. It's comfortable in here, but y'all can still see my breath, can't you? We shouldn't pray. Man, look. Bible tells us when there's a gathering of 2 or more and we're talking about the Lord, that's church. We're having church right now, baby. All of us. So, when I said that a few minutes ago about the praying thing, I was talking about the people that get on there and try to, out-pray you. The kind of that. And believe it or not, that when I go back and watch this, I'll probably laugh at what I just said. But it's the truth. There's literally people on there that, well, you can't pray. And I'm like, whoa, first of all, it ain't none of your business. That's between me and God. It ain't none of your business. And then after that, there ain't no conversation, because what can they say? I pray for them people too, because that's messed up. Hey, let's get more prayer requests. I'm gonna get like another minute, and then we're gonna pray. And I appreciate y'all being here though. And like I said, it probably won't be every night, but at least, you know, every night or every other night, I'm gonna be right here at the fire. We'll chat, and I'll keep y'all up to date on what's going on in the world, especially because guys, it's getting crazy. Like nobody really knows what's going on in China right now. Nobody really knows what's going on over in that Russia and Ukraine. All we know is what they show us, and they're not showing us the truth. Let's say it like that. They're not showing us the truth. Oh, okay. Well, there's a lot of them people. I just say it like this. She can run her channel how she wants to run her channel, and I'll run mine how I want to run mine. And I will say a prayer for her on this channel because, well, I agree with you. I think you pray anytime you want to. You don't have a certain place. I mean, some people do. I have a certain little spot, you know, like I think you're supposed to have a prayer closet, you know, and in my mind, I don't think God, maybe he was, but in my mind, I don't think that means a physical closet. Yeah, I think that means a place like a physical closet where you can get that one-on-one connection with you and him. That's what I think that means. I don't think that means, look, some people's like, man, I ain't got a closet. That, it's like a, you know, figure of speech in a way, you know, like a parable type thing. He wants you to have that connection with him, right? I mean, I can't, every church that I've been to, the pastor prays at first, he prays in the end, and everybody's there, so I don't know why that would be any different than what this is right here. Every church I've been to, they always end with prayer. Am I right or am I wrong? Do y'all go to a church where they don't end with prayer before you walk out the door? Tell me. Somebody tell me they don't. There's 21 people. Somebody tell me, one of y'all tell me that, yeah, I go to a church where we don't end with prayer. Somebody tell me that. And look, I'm not saying this is a church. We're having church, but I'm not, you know, what is the word? Yeah, I'm not saying it. That's not what I'm calling it to be. But we are having church. In God's eyes, we're having church. I mean, every church I've been to my whole life, whether I liked it or I didn't, that pastor always ended in prayer. He did. And does. And they did tonight, and they will Wednesday night, and they will Sunday morning, they will say, yeah, that's how it goes. So yeah, that girl, bless her heart, I don't know, somebody just told her wrong. You know, she's just been misinformed, I guess. Maybe you need to share this video with her, and I'll definitely say a prayer for her, because, look, the devil's the one telling her you ain't supposed to pray on live. The devil would, look, man, the devil is so sly, like, he's so sly. He'll actually, right in the middle of you and God's conversation, he'll try to jump right in the middle of it. He will try. And he'll try to put all these other thoughts in your head and tell you, and you'll think, in your mind, he'll try to convince you that he's got it. And you'll do, that's what's happening with this girl. That's what's happening with this girl, because there ain't a thing wrong with praying. And if there is something wrong with it, then I don't want to be right. Say at beginning, man. Yeah, I know, man. All the churches I've been to, they pray right before the offering, they pray before the singing, they pray before the preaching, they pray before the leaving, they pray before the eating. Now come on, no different. Bless that girl's heart. I pray, say a special prayer for her, and then we don't have to even know her name, but God knows who she is. We will definitely say a prayer for her, because the devil's really got his fingers mingled in there. And look, I'm not, as a Christian, I promise you, if you jump on that road and you put it in four-wheel drive and then you think, oh, it's going to get a little rough, the devil's going to be on the front of that truck trying to push you off a cliff. He'll be throwing trees down in front of you, kicking your windshield in. Don't think it's going to be a setback and you're going to be in a big luxury four-wheel drive down this road and it ain't going to be no bumps and you ain't going to get thrown out. I recommend you put on your seatbelt and you hang on, because it's going to be a hard ride. But I promise you this, if you do that, God will see you all the way through. The problem a lot of people have, I believe, is sitting down and putting that seatbelt on. Once that seatbelt's on, that's when the truth and stuff, your son, you're ready. You put the helmet on, you're good to go. A lot of people just sitting there lollygagging, got the window down, they just barely rolling. Wow, that daggone video done something right there. How'd I do that? I don't know if it did it for y'all, but it done something. My whole face was like, wah. That was weird. That was weird. I promise I'm real me. This is not AI and this ain't no animation. Not yet. That stuff's here. I just don't have it. Right, guys. Any more prayer requests? Did I miss anybody? Anybody? Did I miss anybody? Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. All right, guys. Let me get this stuff out of my pocket here. I don't want to get let me slide my stove over here. I don't want to get my hind end burnt over this. I got a propane heater like sitting right here. I don't want to get burnt back. Heavenly Father, God, Lord, as we bow in your holy presence, God, Lord, we want to thank you, Lord, for another day of life, God. Lord, I pray, God, Lord, every one of these prayer requests, God, that you know on the screen, God, you know the Lord before we even said them, Lord, especially the girl, God, the devil seems to have his fingers intermingled in, God. I pray, Lord, that you just intervene in that, God, somehow, in some way, Lord. We know you can do it, God. We know, God, that you got all the power, Lord. I pray, God, Lord, for the ones tonight, Lord, that are kind of slipping, God. The ones that know you, God, but they're kind of slipping. The devil's got his hands wrapped all around, Lord. I pray for them, God. I pray, Lord, that something maybe be said or done, or even in the future, God, maybe somebody said something in the comments, God, that maybe help them, Lord, to get them back on the right track, God. Lord, I pray, God, that anybody sick, God, anybody sick, all the death that's intervened, God, Lord, I pray for that, God, Lord, all the homeless people, Lord, all the corruption and the evilness, God, Lord, I pray you put your hand on it, Lord. I know this country, Lord, is basically trying to turn its back on you, God, but there's a handful of us, God, that still love you and still believe, God, that we know that you're going to, at the end, you're going to be taking it all. Lord, I pray, God, that there be somebody listening to this, God, that didn't know you, God. Pray, Lord, that be maybe something I've said or something somebody typed in the comments, God, that they come to know you, Lord, before it's everlasting too late. Lord, I pray all this in Jesus' name. I do humbly pray. Amen. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all, man. I do so much. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, I know. Yeah, little chickadee, I know. I've actually, I met Cam and Allie a few times there when we've had them bits there. They live probably, time-wise, probably 35, 40 minutes from me, something like that. 30 minutes, something like that. Yeah, I know who they are. I met them. I love, man, their kids are awesome. Like, man, I'm telling you, one of them little events, or one of them events we went to, where, like both of his kids their kids are astonishingly smart. But man, that little boy of his is, he had a conversation like I'm talking right now, like using humongous words, and I'm just sitting like, whoa, wow. I was like, man, you're really smart, because, well, I can't remember exactly how old he is, but and apologies for that, but he's way too young to be using a great vocabulary like that, so I give props. But yeah, it's awesome. Me and that little guy had a conversation for, I don't know, like 20 minutes, just me and him just talking, and it was great. Yeah, little dude's so smart. But guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in as long as you have, this and that, and hey, good Lord willing, and I'm breathing. I got a little late start tonight, I will say that. I was had to chop up some wood and this and that, and I had some stuff to do, but I got a little late start, and as you can see, it's not as warm in here as it usually is. It is still 44 degrees outside, so yeah, I went to several of them prayer vigils. I actually we got kicked out of the one, or yeah, kind of kicked out of that one over at the Warriors Park. I was the one that got into it with that cop, or that whatever, what's he called, Forest Ranger, or whatever he was. I don't know. He wasn't too nice. I don't care where you're at in this country, in America, and with me, I'll be anywhere in the world, and I'm going to pray to Jesus. I don't care what anybody says, but especially in America, I'll pray anywhere I want, anywhere I want. See, that's one of the problems, though. You watch and see. They're cracking down on it. They're going to make it to where you can't, and this and that. It's under attack, guys. It's under attack. Yeah, I get that's probably my bad. It's my fault where I haven't been on here so long. When stuff like that happens, it just kind of, I'm the same way. It leaves my mind too. Yep. But guys, I'm glad y'all tuned in. Like I said, tomorrow night, good Lord willing, I'll be here. And I've got an hour and probably 15-minute video to go watch all over again. So, and look, I do try to check comments, this and that. Some of them I can't see, but after the video's over, most of the time if somebody comments then, it'll pop up to that when you'll see I'll respond. You know, it'll let you know if somebody commented during the video or after whatever. Only reason I respond to the ones after is because that's the only ones I can see. So, if somebody responds after the fact or if I'm not live, then most of the time I'll try to respond back. But look, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night. Say a prayer for our country. Say a prayer for our president. Say a prayer for one another. God bless our veterans. Say a prayer for the homeless all on the streets. And y'all have a good night. God bless y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow night sometime.